rights of workers. What we can do is be honest with the American people about the challenges that we face. That's the change that we need. I don't believe we can bring about change if we don't declare our independence from the politics that exploits our differences and inflames the divisions in our country. The politics that feeds on fake controversies and distractions, where you keep track of how many points you score on your opponent instead of how many problems you solve for the American people. That may make for good headlines and good television, but it doesn't make for good government. It doesn't bring down the price of your gas or your health care premiums. It doesn't help you pay for college or bring your loved one home from Iraq. Our party, the Democratic Party, has always been best when it led not by politics but by principle. Not by calculation but by conviction. When we've had leaders who could rally the nation around a common purpose, a higher purpose. And I am running for President of the United States because that's the party that we need to be right now. That's the change that we need right now in America. That's why I'm running for President of the United States of America. The man I met in Latrobe, who lost his job and can't even find the gas money to drive around and look for a new one, he needs real change. He needs us to come together and take on the oil lobbyists and invest in renewable energy that's affordable and clean and will help create 5 million jobs all across America. The 1,100 workers in State College who lost their jobs when the Corning plant shut down, I met one of those workers today, some of whom actually had to pack up the equipment and ship it to China. They need real change. They need us to stop giving tax breaks to companies that ship jobs overseas and give those tax breaks to companies that invest right here in Pennsylvania, right here in the United States of America. They need us to reform our bankruptcy laws so that CEOs can't dump your pension with one hand while they collect bonuses with the other. That's the change that we need. The families I've met from Pittsburgh to Harrisburg to right here in Philadelphia sit around the kitchen table at night and try to figure out how they're going to pay their premiums or their kids' tuition and still make the mortgage that month. They've never needed the change more than they do right now. They need universal health care that gives every American the chance to get the same affordable health insurance that I have as a member of Congress. They need middle-class tax cuts targeted at working families and seniors and struggling homeowners. And they deserve a government that helps people caught in this housing crisis to refinance their mortgages so they can stay in their homes. In 4 days, you get the chance to help bring about the change that we need right now, Philadelphia. Here in the city and the state that gave birth to our democracy, we can declare our independence from the politics that has shut us out and let us down and told us to settle. We can declare our independence from the politics that puts the oil companies and the drug companies and the insurance companies in charge of the decisions that impact our lives and our children's lives. We can declare independence from the say anything, do anything politics that's all about how to win and not why we should. That politics that exploits our differences instead of speaking to our common concerns and our common destinies as Americans. We can do all of these things, but only if we declare our independence from the cynicism and the doubt that tells us the change can't happen, that tells us we've got to settle for something less than what we know is possible in America. I understand this cynicism. I know you've been disappointed by politics and politicians so many times before. I know how hard change is. We began this race as an underdog, and we're still an underdog here in Pennsylvania. But as hard as change is, as easy as it is to just get up and walk away. I also know that generations of patriots have faced down greater challenges and emerged stronger and more prosperous and more united than before. We can do that right now. But it will take all of us, Democrat and Republican, young and old, rich and poor, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, gay, straight. It will take a movement like we've built in this campaign, a movement of millions of Americans going door to door, neighborhood to neighborhood, block by block, county by county, state by state, contributing whatever they can to change this country. In 4 days' time, we can take another step forward right here in Pennsylvania. In 4 days, if we are willing to shed our cynicism and our doubts and our fears, if we're willing to believe in the possibility of America again, if we're willing to follow in the footsteps of our founders and declare our independence from the politics that stands in our way, then I believe that we won't just win this primary election. We won't just win in Pennsylvania. We will win all across this country. We will win the general election in November. We will change this country. We will perfect this union. We will keep this country's promise alive for the 21st century. You and I together will change this country and change the world. God bless you.